All right, so I'm going to go over some ethical questions as well as situational questions. So and this happened with me. I was a third-year resident, and one of my second-year residents. So you have a team in the hospital, right? You have interns. Let's say in internal medicine, you have intern first year, PGY1, PGY2, and PGY3. So I was the PGY3, and my PGY2, she was being late every single day. And you have to be ready for the rounds at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning. And you have to see all the patients, and you have to get the computer ready. You have to get the charts ready, a lot of things to do just to make sure, things are ready for the attending. And this resident was coming in late. She would sit behind and try to quickly look at her patients and then come in for the rounds without helping the team out, not being a team player in a way. But anyways, so this was a question that somebody said that was asked today in the interview. And it's so interesting that, it's almost the same situation. So the question is that if you notice that a resident or an intern was consistently coming late and not seeing their patients or not being ready for the rounds, how would you handle the situation, right? So this is an ethical situation as well as a situation that can really happen and happens a lot. Happened with myself a couple of times. And so the way you will answer it, let's talk about this. So good question. And I noticed that if a fellow resident was consistently late and not seeing their patients or not ready for the morning rounds or not helping the team out, my first step will be to approach them on a private basis and in a non-confrontational manner. I want to understand if there's any reason that regarding this behavior, and perhaps they're dealing with a personal challenge. They are unable to get into the hospital early enough. I might say something like, "Hey, I noticed that you've been running a bit late recently. Is everything okay?" And I will let them, talk about it, and they should realize that, hey, this is not acceptable. If this continues, then of course I would not address it on the second time around with them. I would directly talk to my superiors just to have them address it, and maybe there's something else that they can talk about with that individual. But of course, we need a proper decorum and timeliness when we are rounding or for any matter in medicine. So that's going to be your answer. I had different situations in residency when I was the intern, and I was managing was the ICU intern, and my resident, my R3, my PGY3, would sleep the whole night, and I was handling all the patients. So at that point, I didn't raise any issue. I didn't complain or nothing. When I became senior, I complained about that senior myself. But that could be a situation also. Hey, if you are the intern, and if your resident is not doing the job and making you do all the work, or just sleeping the whole night, perhaps, what would you do? So that would be another scenario that I didn't hear anybody ask, but happened to myself. And I didn't really manage it well. I just said, okay, let me just do the work, and that's it. So again, you would say that, okay, I will talk to my senior, hey, a senior, that I'm on my own all night, and it would be good if you can, take a few patients and we can, divide the workload. If that doesn't work and there's any issue with them, he's not able to sleep in the day when he's off shift. Maybe there's any situational, maybe he has a situation, he has kids, whatever. But I would address it that I would be happy if you can be more available during the nights, especially during the night shifts when it could get a little heavy. If he doesn't cooperate, then you'd have to escalate. That's it. There's no argument about that. And in the US, it's different from other countries, that you really have to feel subjugated in other countries. But in the US, there's a hierarchy. You do respect your seniors. However, you need to deal with the situation as it is, and don't be scared of objectively handling a problem. So the important point is objectively handling a problem. And don't bring too much emotionality into the mix. Say it like it is, address it like it is. Okay. Anybody had this situation before?
Well, I was usually the one coming late, so maybe someone else.
Well, you gotta Yeah, now people know to report on you, okay? So everybody here.
Keep it out.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah.
So, Dr. Umar, in that question, when your colleague is running late, is it okay to say like I would I would give I would offer my help if I can do for like for my colleague's situation, and is it okay to say I will express the concerns, right? What when he or she is late, and how it impact on our team performance.
Yeah, you can say that, definitely. It impacts the team performance. For example, the example that I gave you, it impacted my team's performance, definitely. And second, I was a PGY3, and I had to make sure everybody, I was a team leader. I have to make sure everybody is online with everything, and they are prepared and everything is ready. If the R2 resident doesn't help out, then everything falls on myself. So that doesn't work. So it could be different situations, but exactly, you can say that. You can emphasize, hey, can I help you with something? However, in a work environment, you're not going to be covering them for them being late for too many days. They're late once or twice. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm sorry, I was late. They can apologize, but if it happens more, you have to address it. Yeah. And you won't offer too much. Okay, maybe one day I'll look to cover you, but you have your own things to do. Okay. Everybody is a resident. Nobody's getting a free hand around here, right? Right. But nicely, everything is nicely. All right. Okay.